Hello, 8th grade. Today we're working on lesson 48, and it is all about outlines and MLA reports with citations. Today we will learn about bullets and numbered lists, inserting a bullet list in an MLA report, make an outline using a numbered list feature, learn about paragraph indents, insert a manual page break, format an MLA report with citations, and research a topic and prepare a report in MLA format. So 48A on page 177 talks about bulleted numbers and lists. And you should use a bulleted list when order is not important, and use numbered lists when items must be in order. So as you can see, the bullets button is the button that looks like this, and the numbered button is the button right next to it. Okay, so for 48A, we're going to follow the steps on page 178. It says, in a new blank document, key the following text and then tap enter. So we're going to open up a blank Word document. Okay, so I just type in Word down here, click on blank document. Okay, and it says to key the following text and tap enter. So I need to take these 3 books home this evening. Tap enter. Okay, and then we're going to choose a bulleted list from the bulleted list library and then key the following words. So I'm just going to click on the arrow and choose the simple bullet. Math, English, science. Okay, type all 3 of those in on your doc. And then it says to end the bulleted list, tap the backspace key as needed to move the insertion point to the left. So when I hit enter, I have a new bulleted list. If I don't want that one anymore, all I have to do is hit the backspace key and it moves me back to where I want it to go. Okay. Next, it says key this text below the last bulleted item and tap enter. These are my homework priorities for this week. Oops, up here we needed to put in a colon too. Okay, enter, and then it says we're going to use a numbered list from the numbered list library. So I'm going to do this one. Okay, write a draft of my English theme. Do end of chapter math problems. Begin science project. Make sure you have a period at the end of each of these. Tap enter, and then remember it's backspace, backspace, backspace to get back to where you want to be. Alright, key your name beginning at the insertion point and save the document as 48A list. So you would type your name, and then we're going to save this document. So go to File, Save As. I like to go to Browse. I'm going to find my Keyboarding 8 folder, Chapter 5, and we're going to name this document 48A Lists. Save. Okay. All right, next we're going to do an MLA report with bulleted lists. So we're going to open up document 48B report. So you can, I'm going to close out of that. Close. We're going to go to File, Open, Browse, go to your keyboarding folder, find your data files, And we're going to find 48B report. Go ahead and open it. It says to format the document in correct MLA style. Use your name as the person writing the report. Create an appropriate header. Change 20 dash dash to the current year in your report. So right here where it says student's name, you need to change that and type in your name. We also need to make sure we put in page numbers. So I double click above on the margin and I'm going to go to page numbers, top of the page, plain number 3. I'm going to type my last name and a space. Okay, double click back below. And it says that we need to change the 20 dash dash to 2017. Okay. So I think that looks pretty good, except the only problem that I also see is that it's not double space. So I need to select all. So I just did a Control A, select all, and I'm going to go up here, change it to 2, and I'm going to remove spaces after paragraphs. Okay. That should be formatted correctly. Next, we're going to change the numbered list to a bulleted list. So right here, I see my bulleted or numbered list. I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to change it to bullets. It says check the format, proofread carefully, make corrections as needed, save the document as 48B report and close it. So it would be a good idea to try and read over this. So look and make sure that things look correct. People are asked, we could figure out what so once you've read over this, we're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to find Browse, go back to our Keyboarding 8 folder, Chapter 5, and I'm just going to get rid of the DF, and I'm going to name it 48B Report. And we're going to save. Okay. So next it talks about outline using a numbered feature. So let's go back to here. An outline is a document that gives the main points of a subject. Outlines are helpful in planning and organizing reports. Frequently they are prepared using numbering and multi-level lists. So an outline gives the main points of a subject. To change levels of an outline, you use the increase or decrease indent buttons or tab or shift plus the tab keys. So increase indent and decrease indent, the button looks like this. Okay. So we're going to be typing up an outline. So it says that we need to open up a new blank document. So I'm just going to go here to File, choose New, Blank Document. It says to use the default margin settings and center the outline title. So first we're going to click on Center. And we're going to type in Computer Graphics. Then it says use a numbered list with Roman numerals for the outline topics. So I'm going to hit enter. And for my numbered list, I'm going to choose this one with Roman numerals. And I'm going to write a line. Okay. And so first we're going to type introduction. Go ahead and hit enter when you're done with that. And we're going to type computer charts. Hit enter. Okay. So this is where we're going to use increase and decrease indent. So I want this to go in one level, so I'm going to click the increase indent button. You should get an A. So I'm going to type bar charts, hit enter. Okay, I need to go increase indent one more level. You should get a small I. We're going to type in vertical bar and horizontal bar. Click enter. We're going to click the decrease indent. Circle charts, hit enter. Increase indent, whole circle, exploded circle. Okay, decrease indent, we need to go back to C, and then line charts. Increase indent without shaded areas and with shaded areas. Okay. So then it says proofread your outline, correct any misspelled words and formatting errors. I think everything looks good. If yours looks similar to mine, you should be in good shape. And then it says to save this document as, so we're going to go save as, browse. Let's find our Keyboarding 8 folder, chapter 5. We're going to name it 48C Outline 1 and save. Okay. For activity 2, it tells us to open up DF. So we're going to go to File, Open, Browse, go back to our keyboarding, Data Files. We're going to find 48C Outline right here. Okay, it says to select all of the text in the document. So I'm going to choose Control A to select all. And it says choose a numbering style from the numbering library to format the text as an outline. So I'm going to choose the Roman numerals again. Okay, and it says to use the increase indent and decrease indent and increase indent as needed to show that breakfast and lunch are at the first level. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of this and I'm going to click increase indent. Same down here. I'm going to highlight this all and I'm going to click increase indent. So those two are at the first level. Cereal, toast, orange juice, sandwich, chicken soup, and apple are at the second level. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to highlight cereal. I'm holding down the control key and I'm also going to highlight, so press your control key, don't let go. I'm going to highlight toast, orange juice. Oh, sorry, we're going to try that again. I don't want to highlight cereal. I'm going to highlight rice, milk, and sugar. Hold down my control key, jam and butter. Still holding down my control key. I want to choose wheat bun, meat, and cheese, and mustard as well. Okay, and we're going to choose the increase indent level one more time. Okay, and the remaining are at the third level. So these, yours should look something like this. Okay, says check the format of the outline and make any necessary changes. So if yours looks like mine, you're in good shape. We're going to click File, Save As, Browse, go to our Chapter 5 folder inside our Keyboarding 8 folder, and we're going to name this 48C Outline. Save. Oh, whoops. Let's try that again. File, Save As. We want it to be Outline 2, actually. Save. Okay, make sure it says 48C Outline 2. Alright, we're moving on to page 180, and we're on Part D, Paragraph Indents. Okay. In an MLA report, long quotes are indented 1 inch from the left margin to make them stand out from the rest of the report. You can indent the paragraph by using the increase indent feature or by setting the left indentation in the indents and spacing options in the paragraph dialog box as shown in figure 5-9. You can see an example of an indented quote on page 182. So if you turn your book over to page 182, at the top picture, you can see what a long quote indentation might look like. In an MLA report, the list of references used is titled Works Cited. In other report styles, it may be titled References or Bibliography. The list of works cited is formatted using a hanging indent feature. Okay, so we're going to be putting in indents next, and we need to open up document 48D indents. So I'm going to go back over here, go to File, Open, Browse. Let's go to our data files. We're going to find 48D indents. Okay, this document contains part of a report. Select the second paragraph of the report, which is a long quote. Okay, so I would need to select this right here. And it says that we're going to indent this paragraph by setting the left indentation to 1 inch. On the Indents and Spacing tab of the Paragraph dialog box. Okay, so the Paragraph dialog box is right here. We're going to click on this little arrow. Okay, and we're going to set our left indentation to 1 inch. So we got to click until we get to the 1 inch indication. Okay, click OK. Step 3 says to move the next page to the next page of the document. That would be over here. This is a works cited page. It says to select all of the entries after the title and use a 0.5 inch hanging indent. So I'm going to highlight all of this right here. We're going to open up our paragraph launcher one more time. And we're going to choose Special Hanging Indent, and we want it to say 0.5 inches. We're going to click OK. And basically what it does is it indents the second line of your citations by 1/2 inch. Okay, we're going to save this document as 48D indents. Okay. Okay. Next, we're going to be using 2 types of page breaks on 48E, page 181. Okay. There are 2 types of page breaks that are used to signal the end of a page. The software places automatic page breaks when the current page is full. You can enter a manual page break when you want to begin a new page before the current page is full. Manual page breaks, referred to as page in figure 5-10, remain where they are inserted unless they are deleted. So we're going to be putting in page breaks next. So in a new document, so we're going to go back over here. We're going to go to File, New, Blank Document. It says key the following line and then enter a manual page break at the end of the line. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to type this text is line 1 on page 1, period. Okay, and we're going to insert a page break. So I'm going to go to Layout, click on the Breaks button, and I'm going to put in a page break. Okay, it moves me automatically to the next page. I'm going to type this text is line 1 on page, oh geez, I'm having a terrible time here. Page 2, period. Okay. So I'm going to put in another page break. Okay. Step 3 says to key the following line. This text is line 1 on page 3. Says the insertion point should be at the end of line 1 of page 3. Look at the status bar. It should show page 3 of 3 down here. Okay, it says revise the text on page 3 to read, this text is also on page 2. So we're going to take this out, is also on page 2. And it tells us to delete the manual page break by placing the insertion point at the beginning of the last line of text that you revised, and we're going to hit the backspace key. So let me just show you this real fast. If we go to home and I turn on this show hide button, it shows us that we have 2 page breaks right here. So if I put my insertion point in front of this text is also on page 2 and I hit the backspace key twice, it'll move up to the next line. Okay, I'm going to hit enter so it's right there. Okay, the last 2 lines of the text should now appear on the second page. It says close this document without saving. So we're just going to hit the X, and when it asks us to save, click don't save. All right, 48F. All right, so in an MLA report, notes are placed in the body to mark material taken from other sources. These notes are called citations. For example, in a report that you write, you might quote from a magazine article. You should cite or give information about where this material came from. Citations are placed in parentheses in the report body. Okay, so if you look at page 182, you can see an example of in-text citations and then end of the report citations. All right, so it says citations are placed in parentheses in the report body. The following model shows an example of an in-text citation. Citations include the name of authors and page numbers of, here I'll change it to this. This is an in-body citation. Okay, quotes of up to 3 keyed lines are placed in quotation marks. Long quotes, 4 or more keyed lines, are left indented 1 inch as shown in the model. Summarized material is not put in quotation marks. Okay. Then it says, all references cited in a report in MLA style are listed on a separate page. So this would be an example of what it would look like if it's listed on a separate page. This page is the last page of the report. It is called the Works Cited page. An example of a Works Cited page is shown in the following model. This page should have the same margins as the header and as the body of the report. The title, Works Cited, is centered at the top of the page, right here. Oh, let's go back to that. The works are placed in alphabetical order by the author's last name, if it is known. If the author is not known, you use the title of the work. So, for instance, this one right here, the author was not known, so it was just the title cited first. Okay, so we're going to open up, we can go here, File, Open, Browse, go to our keyboarding aid, Data Files, we're going to find 48F, Sources. It should look like this. And it says to add a header for the writer's last name, and the page number. Okay, so up here, it's already in there. Okay. It says on step 2 to insert Anson and Schwagler 619 as a citation at the end of the third sentence. So we want to find the 1, 2, 3. We would want to add the citation right here, which for some reason it's already in there. Okay. Then it says insert Hoggart and Shank 169 as a citation between the last words in the final sentence and the period. Okay, which for some reason it's already in there as well. Okay, and then it says review the format of the works cited page on the previous page and then create a works cited page using the following 2 sources in MLA style. Okay, so you would type in this into your document. Your works cited page should look similar to the model on page 182, but with only 2 works cited entries. Okay, it says save and close the document and name it 48F sources. So, for this, you will want to name it, and make sure that this right here has a hanging indent. So remember to do that. You go to Paragraph Launcher, choose hanging, and make sure it's at 5 inches. Okay, and then when you're done, go to File, Save As, and save it as 48F inside your Keyboarding Chapter 8 folder, 48F Sources. Alright, and that will be it for right now. It says to do a research and write a report about a U.S. national park. Find information about national parks in your local library or on the internet. Then choose a park. In your report, you should include information such as park location, general description, primary attractions, and other interesting information. Use at least 2 sources of information about the park. Note the reference information for each source. Format the report in MLA style. Use an appropriate header, an appropriate title, and appropriate report headings. Write at least 3 paragraphs for the body. Include at least 2 in-text citations. Create a works cited page as the last page of the report. List all of the sources that you used. Proofread carefully and correct any errors or make necessary revisions to your text. Save it as 48G report and close it. So if you don't finish 48G today, we will continue that tomorrow. But you're going to be writing a very simple 3-paragraph report on a U.S. national park. It could be Yellowstone, Yosemite. There's a national park in Nebraska. It's called the Homestead National Monument. You could write it about that. And there is lots of information on the internet. However, you are going to work on saving your information and citing it inside your report for this. So you actually have to keep track of where you found your information, and we'll use it in your paper. So if you have questions about that, you'll definitely need to ask me for help. Okay, so I'm going to save that and I'm going to close out, and you guys are on your own for the rest of 48G.